And we're back at 6:45. You're watching the Tennessee Valley this morning, and as I told you earlier, we have some very special guests today. To my left is Ken and Pat DeCook, and they've come all the way from Michigan just to be on this morning TV show. You believe that, don't you? No, they didn't do that. They actually came all the way from Michigan to help us in our recovery effort from the storms that hit this community on April 27th. And as the old saying goes, we'll take all the help we can get. And these folks are very, very experienced in what they do. And they're with, I'm going to let you give, the acronym is CRWRC. I'm going to let you tell me what that stands for. Pat, tell me what that stands for.
It stands for Christian Reformed World Relief Committee.
Okay. And what is it that you folks do? I know you, like a lot of church organizations, they will take a certain path and say, well, this is what we do best. And you folks focus on disaster relief, basically?
Right. The organization really has three divisions. It has a first response that gets there, right away after the event, and then we have a reconstruction division as well. But the needs assessment is a little bit of a niche that, as a faith-based organization, that we specialize in.
Yeah.
And then have pretty much learn how to do that.
And how long have you and Pat been doing this? This is volunteer effort now. They're here as volunteers.
I believe, honey, it's been about 10 years.
I think so, about 10 years.
About 10 years.
Yeah.
And when you talk about needs assessment, a lot of people may not understand what that encompasses. So give me a quick synopsis of what needs assessment. Pat, tell me what that means. What is it? When you come into a community like Cleveland and you want to assess the needs from the storm, where do you start?
What we're really looking for is people that have somehow slipped through the cracks.
Okay.
That have no other way of recovering. Somehow maybe they didn't have insurance that covered the disaster in their home, or no other way of recovering. And so we are looking for those people. Usually it's about 10%. You had about 1,500 or so people that were affected by the disaster. So we're looking for about 150 to 200 people that might somehow have slipped through the cracks.
Yeah. Now, how do you go about finding those folks, Ken?
Well, there's two ways, really. We do a walk-in center, which we will be doing here, of course, in Cleveland, and that's a good way for folks just to come at their convenience to get the information that we need to have for your long-term recovery. And then we also go out in the area, send teams out in the affected areas to try and locate, those folks who...
Yeah, now when you say send teams out, do you actually walk the streets where the storm hit?
Yeah, we do. We identify, of course, the affected areas of where the event happened, and try and search out those folks who are still maybe at their residence, and there's problems, that they're still dealing with. So then we gather that information. We're really information gatherers that work for your long-term recovery.
Sure.
And we try and help you folks then evaluate and prioritize those needs. And so we put all the information that we gather, and of course it's all on the computer, and we pass that on. That becomes your information after we leave. And we like to try and help you folks as well in terms of your case workers, to help in that ongoing long-term recovery and prioritizing those folks out there yet.
Each one of those individuals actually becomes a case that needs to be managed.
Exactly.
And assessing what their individual needs are. Give me an example of the type of information you're looking for. Well, first of all, let me say that some may be watching who were storm victims and they may say, well, we've already been assessed once by FEMA, we've already been assessed once by EMA, and now we've got the Green Church coming, they're going to assess us again. But it's different, isn't it? What you're doing, you're looking for something different. And so it's really important that they cooperate in order that we can then in turn take that information to assist them in their recovery. Explain the difference between what you're doing and what FEMA did.
Well, exactly. There's only so many resources, and those resources we try and prioritize. We have, of course, nothing to do with FEMA because we're faith-based, but FEMA does what they do, and the community is trying to, of course, do what it has the capacity to do and the resources to do. So a lot of it, you know, is FEMA's about done with their work, and obviously, you know, the needs and the work aren't all complete. So that's what the long-term recovery is about, and to help prioritize your resources and you know how you can go about helping those folks is probably. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Is how we come in and try and evaluate what.
So if someone is underinsured, and that person's home is basically 50% damaged, and how would you assess something like that and turn that information into usable data that the long-term recovery organization could use? Can you give me an idea how you would do that?
Well, a lot of it is, of course, gathering that information, you know, and when we find out exactly where they're at and what they have to survive.
We're talking about finances here.
Exactly. Well, or, you know, it isn't always financials. A lot of it is just to evaluate how they can rebuild. And if you have folks that are coming in yet and still after us, they need to know where the priority is of even rebuilding and helping with even volunteers who come in. And some folks may be able to provide the resources in terms of funds, but they can't pay the labor. But other folks will come in and provide labor. But we need to evaluate, you know, what they can provide, where they're at, and then what kind of help that can help them, you know. And so you might have something to add to that, but again, so there's all these different areas that we need to find out exactly where the help is needed for them individually.
I understand that in some cases the Green Church are able to go in and assess a case, look at a house, and when you're through you can basically tell the long-term recovery organization you need this many dollars and this many 2x4s basically. Is that
exactly?
Is that a little extreme?
No.
No.
You really are able to do that?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty good stuff right there. And this, you say it's all on computer. Was this a software program that was written specifically for what you do?
It is.
Wow.
Yeah, and you'll receive all the information that, again, your caseworkers will need. We actually prioritize it ourselves.
I see.
Then we pass it along to you and you folks, and you then can reprioritize as you see fit and as you evaluate it for yourself. But it gives you a little bit of a heads up, you know, where those priorities are. And it just saves your long-term recovery so much effort, you know, and work and expertise in terms of getting to that level, to that point, you know, to finish up what you need to finish up.
And if the long-term recovery organization or the community had to pay to get this assessment done, we probably couldn't afford it. And you guys come in as volunteers. It's just incredible that there's an organization out there that will do that for people who are suffering from these storms.
Well, an event like you folks have had is pretty brutal. I mean, you take a tornado, you know, or a flood, but which is, but these things are pretty traumatic, and I think that it's, you know, you try and find a good side to everything. But the good side, I think, is in terms of, you know, our country, for all the bad you hear, news-wise, is the greatest country probably in the world in terms of folks being willing to help each other. And they'll cross states and they'll cross areas, and we've learned, you know, people from the South will come north and vice versa, and where the needs are. And we've got a lot of needs because of all the events that have happened in the past summer, you know, with the tornadoes and all. So
it was an amazing summer as far as disasters were concerned. How long do you think the assessment would take, Pat?
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
And then we actually train the local people to do what we do.
Oh, really? So some training's involved.
Exactly.
I see.
So
about how many people will be involved with your team as far as the Green Church? Are you the only two in town, or?
No, there's 10 of us.
10? Wow, that's
so
very
we each
impressive.
take different aspects of what's going on in the next 2 weeks.
And you focus on those areas that were hit by the storms.
Exactly.
Now, some of the houses, it's just a street address. There's no house there anymore.
Right.
What do you do in a situation like that when there's no one home? How do you find them? How do you assess their need?
Well, your town hall meetings are going to be huge.
Okay.
And just even the exposure from your program this morning.
Okay.
Folks hopefully are listening that are out there that would like to either go to the chamber for the walk-in center or, of course, attend your town hall meetings. And I think just the information that we look at your long-term recovery program here, and we think you're doing a heads-up job.
Great,
You've got
thank you.
great personnel. The folks that we've met with already yesterday, yourself, Dan, you're on. I know you're on this.
Yes,
and
thank you.
we've met others that are, and you've got an outstanding long-term recovery program going on here in Cleveland.
And we're blessed to have Jim Polier as our director, too.
Oh, absolutely,
And,
absolutely.
I think I told Pat earlier, he was retired when he submitted his resume for the position. Wasn't looking for a job, but we're glad to have him.
He's out. He is terrific.
Doing a great job. And will you be at the meeting tonight, the town hall meeting?
We will.
You'll be there?
We will.
And Pat handed me, I didn't have the other, you can see how efficient these folks are. I didn't have the locations for the other meetings, but she handed me this information here. The first one, of course, tonight at the Hopewell Elementary School, and that's from 5 until 7 p.m. And then the next one will be at Park View Elementary School out on, that's on Menace Road. That's that brand new school out there. Very close to some of the areas that were hit really bad. But Park View Elementary School will be tomorrow night from 5 till 7. And then on Thursday, first two are Monday and Tuesday, and then they skip Wednesday because that's a church night for a lot of folks. And then on Thursday, Waterville Baptist Church out off of Dalton Pike, I believe is where that is. Thursday, that's 5 until 7 p.m. And then on Friday, Freedom Fellowship Church from 5 until 7 p.m. They're all from 5 until 7 p.m. And they will be Monday, tonight at Hopewell, Tuesday at Parkview Elementary, Thursday at Waterville Baptist, and then Friday at Freedom Fellowship Church. So bring your ideas, and they'll have lots of opportunities for the community to provide input, I understand.
Exactly.
That's what they're looking for,
That's what they're looking for.
Is input,
Yeah.
so that we can figure out where we need to go and what our recovery will look like when we're done. Things are certainly not back to normal, but what we're looking for, I think, is a new normal. I don't think we'll ever be back like we were, but we're certainly looking for the new normal. It's really a joy. I know you've got another engagement. You've got to go up to this little radio station on the hill. I think they call it WCLE or something like. A guy named Steve Hartline. Do you know who that is, Alan? Somebody. That's a joke, folks. Steve's a good friend. Steve's a good friend. But a lot of folks will hear you this morning when you're on Steve's program. He has a great audience. But we're glad that you stopped by.
We appreciate being able to do that. Thank you for the invitation.
And we appreciate what you're doing for this community.
Right.
And you're being a real blessing. We appreciate it a lot.
Thanks. Thank
Ken
you.
and Pat DeCook from Michigan with the Green Church. It's 6:58. Back in a moment with some headline news, and we're going to talk to the principal of Cleveland High School. Don't go away.
Okay.
Now's your chance to showcase your small business products or services. The Be Your Own Boss Expo is coming to Bradley Square Mall in Cleveland, Tennessee on Saturday, September the 17th. This expo will provide you with networking opportunities and services to help you grow your small business. Vendors will be able to connect with hundreds of potential clients without the high expense of advertising. If you own a small business in or around Cleveland, Tennessee, you do not want to miss this event. For more information, visit byobexpo.net or call 865-368-1095.
I'm Dr. James Markham, host of the television program Heart of Health, seen right here on WTNB television. Thursday at 7 o'clock, Friday at 8 a.m., or Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
Volunteer Ridipest LLC has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding areas for over 40 years. Their qualified, experienced technicians are trained in all the latest techniques to keep your home pest-free. Volunteer Ridipest LLC offers Mosquito Guard, which keeps mosquitoes out of your yard and out of your life. Their monthly and quarterly treatments are backed by their 100% money-back guarantee. For all your pest removal needs, call Volunteer Ridipest LLC today at 423-472-7736.
How would you like to look better and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Pain Management, located at 2020 Keith Street Northwest, Suite C in Cleveland. Dr. Dennis Ford is board certified with the American Board of Anti-Aging, the American Board of Pain Management, the American Board of Anesthesiology, and the American Board of Family Physicians. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. Dr. Ford is a licensed physician offering affordable Botox injections for just $10 per unit. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. Botox can also be used on the lower face to treat the muscles that cause tiny lines around the mouth and neck. Botox Cosmetic works by relaxing the facial muscles, creating a smoother, more refreshed appearance that's safe and now affordable. So to look and feel your best, visit the Ford Center for Pain Management at 2020 Keith Street Northwest or call for an appointment, 614-0535. The Ford Center for Pain Management.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland, is your #1 Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep dealer in this area. Stop by and see the brand new 2011 Chrysler 200. The 200 is essentially a new nameplate with a significant facelift to the outgoing 2010 Chrysler Sebring. A beautiful vehicle at an unbeatable price. And while you're there, check out the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the newly designed Dodge Durango. Redesigned, revamped, and reinvigorated. Yes, the Dodge Durango is back, bigger and better than ever. Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep offers a complete parts and service department with qualified service technicians to fix and repair your vehicle. So for your next brand new or pre-owned vehicle, make it Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland.
Welcome back to the Tennessee Valley this morning. I want to thank Ken and Patty Cook with the Green Church for coming by and telling us about their volunteer efforts here to help the storm survivors of Bradley County and Cleveland. 7:02 your time. It's a hot, muggy 76 degrees, and hey, it's Monday. What can you say? See what's going on in the headlines. $160 million expansion and upgrade of the Olin Chemical Plant in Charleston is officially underway. Olin held its groundbreaking ceremonies Friday on that state-of-the-art membrane cell manufacturing facility. The new plant should be operational by the end of 2012. Cleveland State Community College has been named as a military-friendly school for 2012. The designation came after years of research and a recent survey of more than 8,000 schools by GI Jobs magazine. That magazine is a major player in the transition of military personnel from troops to civilians. Registration for students attending Bradley Central High School is scheduled for Thursday. That's this week, July 28th. Seniors will register from 8 to 10 in the cafe. Juniors register from 10 to 11:30, and sophomores from 1:15 to 2:30, also in the cafe. Freshman orientation will be on Friday from 9 to 11. In the gymnasium, students are required to pay some fees, $30 for a student fee, also a locker fee of $5. And we'll learn about the registration at Cleveland High coming up in just a moment when we talk to our guests. A record number of students graduated from the Bradley County Juvenile Court's Law Enforcement Academic and Fitness Academy on Friday. That was held at Cleveland High School, by the way. Leaf Academy Director Nancy Stanfield said 36 cadets completed the program this year. That was the highest graduation that they've had in its 19 classes. I was there, very impressive group of kids. The Greenway Board and Scott's Bicycle Shop are partnering in a bike bell giveaway on Sunday, coming up July 31st from 2 to 5. The idea is to promote bike safety on the Greenway. The bell giveaway will be held on the Greenway at the Harlan Painter Trailhead at the northern bend of Harris Circle. Again, that's coming up on Sunday, 2 to 5. Bring your bicycle in order to get a bell, and you get a bell, and then you can go riding on the Greenway. It'd be a good time for that. And that is your headline news. Let's take a look at the weather forecast. Chance of thunderstorms today. It's been raining a little bit out and about, especially in the northwest part of the county. But I think it's dissipated. But it's going to be hot, even though the temperatures are a little bit lower. And we just, did they pay the light bill?
I hope so.
Well,
We will be in the dark.
somebody hit the wrong button, or a mouse ran through and chewed on a wire. I don't know. We're back anyway. It's now 76 degrees, and it's going to be a muggy, muggy, muggy day. Got some birthdays before we talk to Autumn. Beverly Sperling Brown, who's a teacher, by the way, a friend of mine, is having a birthday. Well, she had a birthday yesterday, so happy belated birthday to Beverly. Amy Bird Gibson is having a birthday today. I saw her yesterday at church, by the way. Ryan Faricelli, you know who Ryan is. Ryan is the movie guy, crazy as a loon, and he works over in the marketing department at Life Care Corporation. He's having a birthday today, so if you see Ryan, wish him a happy birthday. And a friend of mine, Bill Race at Channel 9, weather guy. He's probably on the air doing what I'm doing right now over at Channel 9, having a birthday today. Bill, I'm sorry, you're 51 today. Sorry about that. Happy birthday to all of you.
And there's another one, Debbie Earls, who works with Junior Treatment.
Yeah.
It's her birthday today.
Well, happy birthday
So happy
to
birthday, Debbie.
There you go. We are back, 7:06, and I'm excited to have this next guest. I'm going to let you introduce her because you're a good friend of hers, and you work closely with her, I think, a lot. But we're just glad to have as first-time guest on the show.
Autumn O'Brien, the
Yes.
principal of Cleveland High School,
Yes,
and we're really excited to have you today.
Well, I am thrilled to be here.
You are beginning your third year
Yes, I
at
am.
Cleveland High, and have instituted a lot of changes since you've been there. What are some of the things that have taken place?
Well,
since you
there's been
started?
some natural changes. We've had a lot of changes in our state requirements for evaluation and tenure. So we've spent a lot of time over the past couple of months getting ready for that. We have a very large addition, which I think we're going to talk about later, our new science wing. And anytime you have any facility changes, that obviously has a lot of changes for everybody. And we've had teachers moving all over the building really for the past 2 years. And we've really been looking at the new state curriculum, which has been a big part of what we've been doing over the past couple of years. We've realigned some things, moved some certain courses to different grade levels, and moving teachers in those courses to help with student success. So lots of different changes, exciting changes. And all of the teachers and students have really just been awesome, been really excited to be a part of it.
Autumn, what is the enrollment at Cleveland High now?
Just over 1,300. Yeah.
Big school.
So
Big
it
school.
is growing, and we keep adding. So
What a great facility. I was in there Friday, as I mentioned earlier, for the Leaf Academy graduation. And I love that multipurpose cafeteria, I don't know what you
the
what
commons.
You call it.
Yeah,
the commons. That's a good
area.
word for it.
Yeah, it's a great word for it because we
really-
use it for just about everything.
Yeah, really.
It
I've been
really
in there for several events, and it just really accommodates it so well. And it's just a great place for the community to gather. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about, of course, we mentioned the counterpart across the county is Bradley Central having their registration. Yours is coming up as well, and I believe it's a little bit later. So let's talk about registration.
It is. Well, we're doing a special registration for our incoming freshmen. We know that they get a little nervous this time of year. We want to make sure that they aren't sabotaged by everybody else. So we get them in the building next Monday, August 1st, from 6 to 8. They will meet with their advisor, which we have teacher advisors that they meet with twice a week during the school year. So our freshmen will come, and our freshman teachers will be there. And they'll have the ability to meet with their teachers. A lot of them take their schedule and tour around and find their classrooms in their locker. It just gives them a good chance to be able to see the building and, kind of headline some of those problems the first day of school so that when they get there the first day they feel a little more comfortable. So that's on Monday at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And then we are going to do 10th through 12th graders on Wednesday from 8:30 to 11:30.
Okay.
And we're doing that a little different this year as well. We're going to have them meet with their teacher advisors. We're breaking it down into smaller parts. We feel like students and teachers can interact and get a little bit more personalized, so we're going to allow them to do that with their advisors. And again, try to head off some of those issues that happen with the first day of school of just confusion or communication, and make sure that all of our students feel ready to go on Thursday morning.
Sure. And then the first full day of class, is that on Thursday?
That is Thursday. We do a modified schedule the first day of school. My first year, actually, the faculty had come up with an idea to do a brief student orientation the first thing in the morning. So we do abbreviated schedule for our 4 blocks of classes. We spend a couple of hours in the morning with our advisors so that we do a Raider walk where students walk through the building and find the really important parts of the building. We talk about the school year and some important dates. We're going over some procedures, some things that will help them throughout the school year. So there's a lot of different things that we cover that normally you have to cover sometime in the first month, that we just try to get out there the first day so that we can hit the ground running with classes.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of folks, of course, are big football fans, and they want to know if Cleveland High is going to have a good football team this year.
If you look at what's happening with our quarterback, it looks like things are actually looking up. Well, we'll just have to see. I'm looking forward to the fall. I know my daughter, she likes to be down there on the sidelines with the cheerleaders, and she is super excited. The 5-year-old girl is just getting ready to jump out of the house. So we love the fall around Cleveland High School and in the O'Brien household.
And you know, the first game will be here before you know it. The first game's in August.
It is. It sure is. It's on the road. We're traveling up to Alcoa, so we're going to hit it hard. First game of the season.
Alcoa's always tough.
Yeah, but we are really, really excited. And tell you what, this group of young gentlemen have actually been helping us with some of the classroom moves, and they are just a great group of boys. So really excited about all of our teams and what they represent, what they do for us.
Well, we got to talk about the new addition. I drive by on Raider Drive, and I look at that addition, and I think how great that fit into the existing structure. The architect did a great job, I think, marrying the new to the old. And I can't wait to see to get the tour. Have you been able to see the preliminary stuff? Wow. So you got, you're special. You got to go early.
I've been through it a couple of times. Yeah, it's great.
Well, the Max Carroll, and of course Max is a dear friend of mine, as he is of many people in this community, and I don't think they could have chosen a better person to honor than Max Carroll, who spent 25 years on the school board or something like that. So the Max Carroll Science Wing is just exciting, I know, especially for the students. But talk about that facility. I understand it's state of the art.
It is state of the art, and I feel really lucky to have been a part of this entire process. The one thing I can say about this process is that it stemmed from a parent group, which I think is just a remarkable thing. And the teachers have been very involved in the building of this building. They have stepped up and really done a lot of research to find out the best ways to teach science, the best ways to engage our students, the best ways to use our resources well. And it also is very energy efficient, so we're really excited about that as well. And also pleasing to the eye. I've been trying to figure out a way to get an office with the view up to the top floor.
There you go.
So I might have to take over one of these classrooms because it really is just stunning when you look out the front windows.
It really
it's been a really great process.
And when the landscaping is done out front and the sign and all that, it's just going to be.
And
really
Autumn,
neat.
I think, has Volunteer Day coming up Saturday.
We do. We're doing a campus cleanup on Saturday from 8 to 12. We're gathering our students and our teachers and anybody else that wants to come out and just clean up and make the campus shine before our dedication, but more importantly before our students come on Thursday, just to kind of get everybody ready and geared up for a good school year and to be a part of it. And I'm sure there'll be some sneaking around trying to find and see all the great new additions, which we expect. We've also added new tile in the building as well. And I was talking with some of my staff last week, and I said when I came, one of the biggest complaints from teachers was about carpet in classrooms. And that seems like years ago, and it was just 2 years ago, but we now have tile throughout the entire building. All of the tile matches, and it's just the whole building has received a tremendous facelift. So.
When I was in there Friday, of course, you go down that long hallway to get to the Commons, and that pod, I guess you call it a pod, off to the right, there were workmen in there. They were putting down a new base mold and finishing up some tile in there. It's looking really good. And I thought, wow. This is great.
Yes.
But it's a very nice facility, and a lot nicer than the one that I went to when I was a kid. I can tell you that.
Sure. You know, the other thing I really have to commend Autumn for is she has a very involved now volunteer community type group, parents and community people that are involved to sort of a well, I can't even think of the word. I'm an advisory board that she set up. And then the other thing that I have seen is you have the students very involved in the community doing various programs and activities that need really helping out. And I think it's really, it's great for the kids. They need to be out there doing things. It's wonderful for Cleveland High School because people see these students that are very well-mannered, very well-behaved, and very involved.
Great kids.
You
bring up a point, and you mentioned the new science wing was parent-driven.
Absolutely.
How important is parental involvement in education, especially in light of the fact that I think Cleveland High was the first school of excellence in Tennessee? How much of that was parent-driven?
Well, parent involvement is crucial.
Yeah.
The issue you get into is that teenagers don't typically want their parents around. So the model for parent involvement that parents use K through 8 doesn't necessarily work for a teenager. So we have to get creative and find ways where we can sneak the parents in without the teenagers seeing them, which we do on many occasions. But yeah, parent involvement is absolutely crucial. But even more important, parent communication between teacher and parent and student and parent and the parents back to us. So we really feel that that's the most important part of our parental involvement is that we communicate well with our parents, we allow them to communicate with us, and we make the process easier for everybody.
Yeah, well, it is so important. I see it in my grandkids. Their parents are involved in their education, and it does make a huge, huge difference. And you're right, sometimes they don't want their parents around. But the bottom line is they still love them. They still love them.
For sure.
Wow, it's great. We've got a lot more questions. We have to take a break. I'm so sorry. And we want to talk to your boss is here, by the way. Dr. Martin Ringstaff is here in the studio. We're going to talk to him in just a moment. But we hope you'll come back and give us an update later on about what's going on. Maybe after football season we can debrief a little bit about the team and find out what's ahead for Cleveland High School. Autumn O'Brien, the principal at Cleveland High School, it's a thrill to have you on the show today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
7:16, well, it just clicked 7:17. We'll be back in just a moment with Dr. Ringstaff.
Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland, is your #1 Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep dealer in this area. Stop by and see the brand new 2011 Chrysler 200. The 200 is essentially a new nameplate with a significant facelift to the outgoing 2010 Chrysler Sebring. A beautiful vehicle at an unbeatable price. And while you're there, check out the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the newly designed Dodge Durango. Redesigned, revamped, and reinvigorated. Yes, the Dodge Durango is back, bigger and better than ever. Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep offers a complete parts and service department with qualified service technicians to fix and repair your vehicle. So for your next brand new or pre-owned vehicle, make it Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland.
I'm Kathy Guy with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Call us today for all your personal insurance needs. With 28 years in the insurance business, I have the solutions and pricing you are looking for. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Now's your chance to showcase your small business products or services. The Be Your Own Boss Expo is coming to Bradley Square Mall in Cleveland, Tennessee on Saturday, September the 17th. This expo will provide you with networking opportunities and services to help you grow your small business. Vendors will be able to connect with hundreds of potential clients without the high expense of advertising. If you own a small business in or around Cleveland, Tennessee, you do not want to miss this event. For more information, visit byobexpo.net or call 865-368-1095.
How would you like to look better and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Pain Management, located at 2020 Keith Street Northwest, Suite C in Cleveland. Dr. Dennis Ford is board certified with the American Board of Anti-Aging, the American Board of Pain Management, the American Board of Anesthesiology, and the American Board of Family Physicians. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. Dr. Ford is a licensed physician offering affordable Botox injections for just $10 per unit. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. Botox can also be used on the lower face to treat the muscles that cause tiny lines around the mouth and neck. Botox Cosmetic works by relaxing the facial muscles, creating a smoother, more refreshed appearance that's safe and now affordable. So to look and feel your best, visit the Ford Center for Pain Management at 2020 Keith Street Northwest or call for an appointment, 614-0535. The Ford Center for Pain Management.
I'm Dr. James Markham, host of the television program Heart of Health, seen right here on WTNB television, Thursday at 7 o'clock, Friday at 8 a.m., or Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
Volunteer Ridipest LLC has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding areas for over 40 years. Their qualified, experienced technicians are trained in all the latest techniques to keep your home pest-free. Volunteer Ridipest LLC offers Mosquito Guard, which keeps mosquitoes out of your yard and out of your life. Their monthly and quarterly treatments are backed by their 100% money-back guarantee. For all your pest removal needs, call Volunteer Ridipest LLC today at 423-472-7736.
7:20 your time. Again, I want to wish a happy birthday to Ryan Faricelli, who will be in here on Friday. We'll give him a hard time about getting so old. Amy Bird Gibson also having a birthday today. It's 7:21, a warm, muggy 76 degrees, and we're back on Tennessee Valley this morning, and my co-host Sandy Moore has brought another very special guest with us.
Right, I have. Lucky to have Dr. Martin Ringstaff, the new superintendent of Cleveland City Schools, with us today.
Thank you
for coming.
I enjoy it.
Good to have you back. Dr. Ringstaff has been here before, and good to have you back. But when we had you on the first time, you had just been hired by the board, and your predecessor was Dr. Denning, was still in office.
Correct.
He's since retired, so now the burden falls on your shoulders. I'm sorry.
It does.
Very capable shoulders,
yes,
though, I understand.
That's what I hear.
So.
That's what I hear.
Tell us about some of the challenges that you foresee coming down the road, positive challenges. I know we've got some changes in education standards, but...
We do, and a lot of the changes that Ms. O'Brien spoke about earlier, we have a couple of issues where teacher evaluation system's new this year, and I think that has some of our teachers a little edgy about what to expect, and rightfully so. I totally understand how that would be a surprise for some of them.
Now, when you mentioned, let me catch you there, when you mentioned the evaluations, is that as a result of the laws that were changed in Nashville this past session?
It was a direct result of the First to the Top initiative.
Okay.
And, you know, we're doing all kinds of things. We're changing the way that we test students. More of a critical thinking style test is coming, and it's already here. And so we have to look at the way teachers teach in the classroom as well. So we're doing a lot of, as the state calls it, reform. But at the same time, we're doing it because we think it's best for students. And we can see that there is light at the end of the tunnel, but it's a very long tunnel to go through. And it could be painful at times, it could be rewarding at times, and we do believe that there's a great end to it. It's just a matter of getting from point A to point B and keeping everybody, you know, forward thinking, positive moving, and I think we can do that.
You've been on the job how many days now?
Today's the 25th, so 25 days.
25 days, okay. Yeah. Long enough to almost get oriented and find out where the office is and the drinking fountain and all that kind of stuff, and the cafeteria where the coffee machine is. First 25 days, what do you see as your biggest challenges?
Well, I think the biggest challenges are preparing for all the changes that are coming from Nashville. I think that we have the teacher reform system, obviously. I think we have other changes that are coming, things that are in the mix that we want to be prepared for, that we don't want to surprise our teachers or students. You know, we're here for the betterment of both. And so what we're trying to do is figure out ways to make a lot of what's happening a little bit easier to deal with. The tenure laws have changed. And I don't believe that's a major issue, as great teachers never worried about tenure anyway. So as long as teachers are doing their jobs the tenure, it's in effect not even an issue.
Yeah.
Because we want great teachers, and students deserve great teachers. So I don't see that being as much as an issue. I know that the negotiation laws have changed, so that's not an issue for Cleveland so much as I believe our teachers know we will do everything in our power to take care of them on a daily basis. So there are things out there, but I don't believe they affect us as much because we're going to do what's right for students, and our teachers do what's right for students, and we believe in our teachers.
What, when you applied for the position of director of schools, what attracted you to this system? What made you think, yeah, that's a system I think I could direct. I'd like to have that job.
It's just a very heartfelt system. I think that everyone's focus is in the right direction. It's a very stable school board. It's a very stable directorship. It's, you know, it's had great leadership in the past, from the school board point of view down to the director point of view to the principals. So it's, as Dr. Denny called it once, a plum of a job. It is. It's a hard job. It's a job that is very rewarding, however, and I believe it's a great school system. There are some school systems that you wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole because you just understand that there's tension in the community, tension in the school boards, things of that nature.
Right.
But here, people understand that students come first, and that is a dream of anybody who wants to work in the school system.
You're right. There is a lot of, I hadn't thought about it that way, but a lot of stability in the system from the school board on down.
Really is.
And that goes a long way, I think, and when you see something like Cleveland High School becoming the state's first school of excellence in Tennessee, boy, that's quite a feather in the cap right there.
It is. And we have excellent elementary schools, middle school, high school. Obviously, we've spoken about the high school. I'm very, very proud to be the director of schools for this system, and I think we have great things coming.
Go ahead.
Tell us a little bit about the dedication ceremony that's coming up, because I know people are interested in that.
It'll be next Tuesday night, August 2nd. It starts at 7 o'clock, and we'll tour the facility, and there's some great speakers online for that. The Secretary of State's coming, or Treasurer for the state of Tennessee will be here. The mayor will be, a lot of the city council and the school board will be there. Max Carroll will obviously be there. Dr. Denning will be making an appearance back, a cameo appearance. He will look suntanned and rested, I am sure. So we're excited with all the hoopla that this is creating, because it's a great feat for our high school and for our school system as students for years to come. It'll change the face of science, where the whole STEM technology that First to the Top is pushing with that science wing. It is state of the art. It's a great facility. I'm blessed to come in at the end of it and be part of it, but it's going to really change the face of Cleveland High School and for Cleveland City Schools.
You're here at a good time, starting off a brand new school year. Got here about 25 days, 30 days before classes start, but surely you had a chance to kind of look around a little bit and assess the needs. What would you assess as the greatest challenges or needs that you have, maybe in physical plants or in other areas?
I think the biggest challenge that we're going to face in Cleveland, not just school system, but citywide, is the infrastructure issue. With the growth that is coming from Chattanooga up, and with the new businesses coming in, we have a need for a new elementary school, and that will become more of a hot topic over the next 6 to 8 months, I believe, especially for our city council and school board. So we'll be looking at land for new elementary schools, and you know, that growth will lead into middle school and high school. We just expanded the high school, so after that I could foresee something happening at the middle school. It's never even been discussed, but we're already sort of at capacity there. So there's some areas of need, and I believe it's an infrastructure issue more so than anything else.
Is it really?
So not putting any of the academic or curriculum to the side, because I do believe we still have state mandated tests that we have to focus on and be concerned with, but we will keep that in perspective and understand that students come first, and we want to make sure every student has every seat. We will teach any student that comes to us, and we'll do it successfully.
Well, it sounds like the system's in capable hands, Sandy.
It does.
And
we're very fortunate, I believe.
Thank you. I hope so.
You have good leadership from the principalships on down, and it's a good school system. It really is. My kids attended Cleveland City Schools, so I can verify that I think they're a pretty good system. We're out of time, unfortunately, Dr. Ringstaff, but we want you to come back again.
Anytime.
You get to be a regular on here almost. This is your second shot at the audience, so hope you'll come back again. It's Monday, 7/29, 76 degrees. Before we go, quickly, Beverly Sperling Brown, belated birthday to you on Sunday. Amy Bird Gibson today. Ryan Farcella today. Bill Race at Channel 9 today. Happy birthday to you all. Thanks to all of our guests for coming in. We appreciate the green shirts. That would be Ken and Pat Cook. Appreciate them coming in today and all the work that they're doing. And thanks to Autumn O'Brien for coming in from Cleveland High School, and of course Dr. Ringstaff. Thanks so much. Good to see you today. Join us tomorrow. Bye-bye.